Here comes the twist. Everyone, my name is Javneekar and welcome back to This in Canada. I hope you are all happy, healthy and fine. In this video, I will share with you my journey from an international student to permanent resident of Canada. It is always a dream for international student to come to Canada, study hard, work hard and become permanent resident of Canada. So in this video, I will provide all the information how I became permanent resident of Canada. So watch this video till end. I came to Canada in August 2015 as an international student. I came to University of Waterloo to do Masters of Electrical and Computer Engineering. So my term started in September and I was in Canada around 10 to 15 days before starting my term. I completed my masters in 16 months. I took 3 working terms and 1 term I took off. Started my masters in 2015 September and I completed my masters in 2016 December. And in 2017 January I applied for my work permit and in February I got my work permit for 3 years. So I feel that when you get work permit for 3 years, half the battle is won, because now you have enough time to apply for PR or PNP or Express Entry, whichever PR method you are going for. So I was very lucky to get 3 years of work permit even though I only studied for 16 months. I gave my IELTS journal examination in January only when I was waiting for my work permit. So in January I booked the examination in Kitchener as I was living in Waterloo and I gave my examination. And also be careful when you are giving IELTS examination or English proficiency examination for permanent residency, it should be journal. For international studies we give academic, but for PR it should be journal. So now I got my work permit, I got my documentation, now it was time to apply for PR. In order to apply for permanent residency within Canada, you should have a valid work permit and IELTS score and other documentation. So when you are applying for Masters PNP, you don't need to have any offer letter or any prior experience or any experience at all. So everything was okay, but here comes the twist. Getting permanent residency is never easy. There's always a twist when it comes to getting permanent residency. And so my story also have a twist. And my twist was created by Government of Canada, or you can say Government of Ontario. So by now I think you know how government can change rules in a day and everything changed. Ontario PNP, that is Ontario Provisional Nominee Program for Masters and PhD students, was open throughout the year. But that was before I have to apply for PR. When it was time for me to apply for PR, rules changed. Actually, rules got changed in May 2016 and I was supposed to apply for PR in February 2017. Earlier, it used to happen if you graduated, if you cleared your master and you have work permit, you can apply for Ontario PNP throughout the year. It was open and you can just file the paper application, paper PNP, and you can apply for PNP and later for PR. So this used to happen before May 2016. And suddenly government realized that they don't want paper-based PNP anymore, which is good, right? Paper application is lengthy, more work, and you are bound to make more mistakes. It was a good initiative by government that they want to move the paper application to online application. So in May 2016, they temporarily stopped accepting any applications in Master and PhD PNP stream. Because they decided to move everything online, they need some time to build the online system, to program everything, to provide the infrastructure for online application. But they didn't tell that when this online application system will reopen again. Master students who already graduated during that time, they were waiting to file their application. From May 2016 till February 2017, it is around 10 months. And in those 10 months, at least 2 batch of masters have already passed in entire Ontario. So fast forward to February 2017 and they announced that they are going to reopen the online application again. And many students are now waiting to apply to the PNP stream for masters, right? So they announced that on this day, the application will open. So I'm sitting there ready to register my application. So let me tell you what the process is. So you have to register for the online application, and once you register, you get at least 14 calendar days to apply for PNP to complete your application. But registration is important, and if you will not be able to register, then you don't know when they will reopen the application. So I'm waiting there, ready to register with my laptop fully charged, and trying to register, I'm trying to fill in my email ID, I'm trying to fill in my name. I filled out my name, I filled out my email address, and only one question I have to fill, and I'm trying to fill it. I'm not able to fill it, and then finally when I'm able to fill it and submit it, it says page not found. I'm just sitting there. So what actually happened is that they actually closed the registration within 15-20 minutes of its opening. Their online platform was very crappy. It was the first time they launched the online system. It was filled with bugs. It didn't have any good interface. It keep on reloading. It keep on showing errors. It was just a crappy, messy situation. Most of my friends were not able to register, but only one friend of mine was able to register. And that was devastating. You are waiting for something, you gave IELTS examination, you have your work permit, and the worst part is that they didn't tell us that when they will reopen this online application again. And we are just waiting there, realizing that we have lost the opportunity. If you guys don't know, you only have 2 chances to apply for PR. Within 2 years of your graduation, you have to apply for permanent residence. That there was no surety that whether it will reopen again this year, or as they did last time, they reopened it after 10 months, they will reopen next year. You just can't wait there, sit there and do nothing. Meanwhile, you can look for your jobs, and I got job after 2-3 months, but there is always a pressure of missing that chance which could have been yours. So on the Ontario Provisional Nominee website, they announced that on May 1st there will be some announcement. So they didn't tell what the announcement will be or what we should expect. They just said that on May 1st there will be announcement. Now we are confused. What will be the announcement? You don't know that whether they will be reopening the application, or they are just going to give another announcement, or they are just going to tell when it will reopen. Nothing. Just a vague announcement that there will be announcement on May 1st. But you know, there is always intuition inside you that something's going to happen. So on May 1st, I decided that I will take leave from my both the jobs. So as I told in my previous videos, I used to work 2 part-time when I was applying for full-time job. So I took leave of absence from both the jobs. I was just sitting whole day in front of my laptop on May 1st. Still, I didn't know what was the announcement, but there was some intuition that they will, I think, open the registration process again. There was only a hinge, and I was going with that I don't want to take risk. I was just sitting on my laptop for whole day. They didn't even tell the time that there will be announcement at 4 p.m. or 2 p.m. Nothing, just a date was given. So I woke up early in the morning. I was just sitting in front of my laptop, refreshing their website again and again that there will be some announcement, and I don't want to miss the opportunity. I was just reloading, refreshing the page. I already prepared my food before, and even when I went to kitchen to microwave my food, I took my laptop with myself, so that it was just, I don't know how to explain, but I don't want to miss the opportunity, and I want that process to go so that I can become permanent resident of Canada faster. So I was sitting there trying to refresh, trying to reload. Nothing was happening, and then suddenly at 4 p.m. I remember it, I was refreshing and there was an announcement that registration is open and you can apply for Master PNP. My heart sank, and I quickly opened that link. I quickly filled everything. This time their platform was very smooth. I think they fixed all the bugs which were there in the first time registration. Nothing was like that. It was very smooth. I was able to complete my registration in 5 minutes, and I got the email that you have successfully registered for Master PNP. And that time I took sigh of relief. I was like, okay, now it's time to just fill out the application as soon as possible and give all the documents, so I'm done with this process. It was a very long, tiring day, but I quickly registered everything. And as I told, one of my friend was able to register before, so I took all the application, all the documents from him, and I prepared all the documents and all the application beforehand, so I don't have to rush in those days. I was all prepared. I just have to submit, but I took my time. I took my time to completely fill the application. Now, if you do some mistake, it's not like they will deny your application, but then they will ask you some additional information and additional documents, and then your process get delayed. So it's better to take your time when you are filling out the PR forms rather than delaying your process unnecessary, right? Now also they again changed the rule for PNP, and the most effective streams are Masters and PhD, because earlier there was no point system. Now they have introduced the point system. If you were about to apply and they change the rule, it's okay, you can do it. Just be fast and just keep on looking for updates. Whenever it happens, just do it. So this was my PNP story, still not my PR story. This was only my provisional nominee program, so I submitted everything. Let me tell you a little bit about PNP. So for PNP, you will only get a provisional nominee for Ontario, so you will be able to stay in Ontario. I did my university in Ontario, so that was a good reason. I was applying for jobs in Ontario. Doesn't matter which city, but you should be applying jobs for Ontario. So I gave those evidence. I even gave a strong statement of purpose why I want to stay in Ontario, and it could be reason like your family is here, or your relatives are here, or you found a job here, or you like Ontario and you have been studying here for 2 years, 3 years, and you have to write those. There are other documents like work permit, transcripts, and there are some documents from universities like the journal documents, birth certificate as well. You have to have birth certificate, and then these were the documents. And many just assume that it's very easy to get PR if you have done masters, but the main thing is that if you are applying as a master PNP, you are not having a job, right? You don't have a full-time job. You have to show proof of fund that you can support yourself while you stay in Canada. So it's around 13,000 Canadian dollar, which should be in your bank account when you are applying for PN, and it should be at least in your bank account for 6 months. You just can't immediately bring money and show it. It should be from 6 months sitting in your bank account. Whether you use it or not, you don't have to give anybody, but it should be there. You have to provide them bank statements when you are applying for PNP. They had $13,000, right, just sitting in my bank account. So I asked my parents to help me. They sent me $13,000, and they actually sent me around $15,000 just for the safe side, and they sent me that money, and they wrote me an affidavit which was notarized by a lawyer that they are sending me this money as a gift and now it belongs to me. So that affidavit, both my parents, my mother and father, they signed it, saying that now this money doesn't belong to them. It actually belongs to our daughter, which we are giving as a gift. So it's okay. They are giving me as a gift, it's okay. But you can't take any loan, or you can't transfer money from credit card. If by chance they got to know that you have got the money that way, it could be a problem. So I had my affidavit. My parents actually sent me that original affidavit, not a scanned copy, that original affidavit through courier service, and I had that money sitting with me for 6 months. I didn't touch that money. Though my parents said that it was my money, but I know in my heart it doesn't belong to me. It belongs to my parents. It's their hard-earned money, right? So I just took them for the sake of permanent residency, and I completed my PNP application, and after 1 week I submitted that application. And exactly after 25 days, I got my PNP acceptance. That means they accepted my nominee for Ontario. So I can stay in Ontario. I can't move to any other province in Canada. I can only work in Ontario. I can only stay in Ontario till I get my permanent residency. That was all for my provisional nominee program experience. Now comes the main part where you have to apply for permanent residency. But if you have that PNP document, it's already a confirmation that you will get permanent residency, because Ontario already cleared every eligibility. They have seen every document of yours, but you have to apply for permanent residency and you have to apply paper application. There is no online app for permanent residency applied via PNP, but you have to apply paper application. There are a set of documents. They are very easy. I did all this work by myself. I didn't contacted any immigration lawyer or any immigration agency, but I definitely took a little bit help from my international student advisor in my university, which is free. Even after you graduated from university, they will help you if you have built some relationship with them. If you have their email address, you can just send them email, so they know all this process, because they have worked with so many students, they have worked with so many cases, so they know all this. So definitely take advantage of the services. But I submitted all my documents for permanent residency in October 2017. I took a lot of time from the time I got PNP and I submitted my application, because I was so nervous. I keep rechecking my application if I don't want to miss everything, because in paper application, just be very careful. If it's not online, they will send whole your package back to you, even if it's a minor mistake. Even if you didn't fill out one signature, they will send your whole package to you via regular Canada Post email. So you don't know whether they are sending it back, you can't track it. It will just randomly appear in front of your door, and if you are changing your address and you haven't told IRCC, they will send that package to your old address, and you never know where your application is, right? So be very careful when you are applying for paper application, any paper application in Canada. And then I gave my application in October 2017, and exactly after 1 month I gave my AOR in November 2017. AOR means acknowledgement of receipt. I got my AOR exactly after 1 month, which confirmed that my application is complete. Everything is fine. I will not get my application returned to me, and I am good to go. They just have to do processing on their side, and if anything will happen, they will tell me. So AOR also have a link where you can link your application online. So you created your GC key or CIC account, right? So they will give you a link to link your application, your paper application online. So any important information they have to tell you, or any further information they want from you, they will tell you via your account. They will message you and you can open that in your account. Now the thing is that if you are applying through PNP Masters stream, be very patient, because it's a very slow process. So you have to be very patient. They usually exceed their processing time. So I got my AOR in November 2017 and time passed by. I'm just waiting and nothing is happening. And then in February 2019, so whole 2018 passed and I got nothing at all. So on February 2019, I actually got request for police clearance from Canada. You don't need to give PCC for Canada. You only need to give PCC from the country you have stayed 6 months or more. In my case, it was India. So I gave my India PCC beforehand. But for Canadian, they asked you when they are about to complete your process. So in February, they asked me for PCC and medical. Gave everything within 1 week. You usually have 1 month to give that. And I gave everything in 1 week. Then at end of the March, I got my passport request. I got my COPR, which is just the confirmation of permanent residency, and I have to give my passport. They stamp your passport for one-time visa. You always have a dream when you come as an international student that one day you will become permanent resident of Canada. There are so many more opportunities that opens when you become permanent resident. Also, there is a security that now you can live in Canada permanently. And so I got my COPR. I sent my passport, I got my passport back, and then you have to do the landing, which is essentially the last step of many steps of PNP, PR and everything waiting. So this is the last step when you just have to do landing. Means you just have to go outside Canada. You have to just leave Canada one time and re-enter, and then they will give you your, and usually students do is that they go to Canada USA border and they do their soft landing over there and come back same day. There is another way also. You can email them ID return, and this email ID they provide you, and you can book an appointment. For me it was at Tobico, which is very near to North. Currently I'm living, so you just have to go there. It usually takes 1 week for them to give appointment, but if you are just crossing the border you can go anytime, any day. I just went to Tobico office, and where they asked me that if anything changed, like your marital status or anything got changed in your long processing time. So it was nothing, and so I said no and everything. And then I just got my COPR and I was permanent resident on 1st April 2019. Not April Fool. I'm not making you April Fool, but I got my PR on 1st April 2019. It was sigh of relief, and after a few days, like 1 week or 3-4 business day, you get your PR card mailed at your home, and that's all. And that was my whole journey. I hope you weren't bored listening to my journey, because I really want to motivate you and share with you guys that it's okay. I know student life is struggle, and then you get full-time job, it's struggle, but when you get that PR card in your hand, you will feel like it was worth it, because that is very good feeling. I can't express in the words, but I hope you all have that feeling. I truly wish, hope from depth of my heart that each one of you get to experience that feeling. You get your permanent residency, you get your citizenship, you achieve all your dreams. And that's all. I will stop talking. And if you like this video, you guys know, please subscribe to my channel. It will mean universe to me, and I will see you in next video. And like and do share with your friends and family. Help each other and universe will help you. So take care, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.